Hey guys, welcome back to my little suburban homestead. I'm Amanda and this is where I show you how I live homegrown and homemade in my little slice of suburbia. So it's the week of Thanksgiving, and if you're anything like me and you work full-time, you have to cram as much in those days leading up to Thanksgiving as you can. So I just got off work about an hour ago and I'm gonna make cranberry sauce. So I thought I'd take you along for the ride. As I'm sure you can probably tell, my kitchen is very small, so I've got to get these plants cleaned up before I get started on anything. These are some cuttings that I got at a plant swap that I've been propagating, and I just got these in the pots last night, so I'm going to go ahead and put them away so we have some space to work with. The very first thing I do, no matter what I'm making, is pull out all the ingredients. The last thing I want to do is be in the middle of a recipe and realize that I either don't have something or it's really hard to get to, so it's just easier for me to pull it all out so I'm not having to waste time when I'm in a time critical part of the recipe trying to find my ingredients. This recipe only takes 4 ingredients, so it's really simple.
I have 2 bags of cranberries, 2 oranges, some sugar, and some balsamic vinegar. I like to add this because I feel like it just takes it up a notch.
This recipe calls for a cup of freshly squeezed orange juice, but to be honest, I really don't want to dirty another dish. So I'm just gonna take my oranges and squeeze them directly into my pot and not worry about measurements. Historically, I've been a rule follower when it comes to recipes. I started baking before I started cooking, and usually in baking recipes, you don't have the flexibility to just go all willy-nilly. So I like a recipe. However, I have been trying my hardest to branch out and go with the flow and see how things come out, because that's the only way you're gonna learn. Turning my stove on to medium-high heat, and then I'm gonna add some sugar to the orange juice. About 3 cups. And I just want the sugar to dissolve in the orange juice. So 3 cups is a lot of sugar, but cranberries are very tart. If you've ever made cranberry sauce before, you probably know. It takes a lot of sugar, and 3 cups of sugar is actually low for a cranberry sauce recipe. That'll take a few minutes. Next, I'm adding the orange zest. Pro tip here, zest your orange before you cut it. This is what happens when you try and cook on a Monday night after a long day at work. You do kind of some stupid things. But we got there in the end. Then 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. You can omit this if you don't like it. Then I'm gonna let that cook until the cranberries burst. Actually, I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. To balance out the sweetness.
Can you hear that popping noise? That's the sound of the cranberries bursting.
And they will pop you in the face, so be careful. I wish you guys could smell this. It smells so good.
We're starting to get there. Still have a few whole cranberries.
It's been about 35 minutes and my cranberry sauce is looking pretty good. Take a look. Since Thanksgiving is only a few days away, I'm going to be storing this in the fridge. It'll keep just fine. If you wanted to store this for longer, you could can it or freeze it, but I don't really need to.